Behind the Shades.
The things that we are willing and able to do when we are that committed, right? Like no joke committed. Like I can't even tell you, Tarina, how many times I've failed in this business. And I was such a perfectionist and such a, I've always done well in my life. I've always been just naturally gifted. There aren't a lot of things that I really struggled with in my life as far as learning. And so to be in this such a vulnerable place where it's only me, I don't have a boss, I am my own boss, and to have to like really like motivate myself, like be the boss and the employee at the same time, and just the conversations that I have with myself is so interesting. But I am clear that God has given me this job. I'm clear about that. I was half asleep and I just heard, you are a healer. And it was the oddest thing because I've never considered myself that. And yet when I heard it, I said, of course I am. Of course I am. So I know in my heart, this is my calling. And I'm given the gift of challenge after challenge after challenge to make me stronger and tougher and more resilient. But right now it's like, oh my God, what's happening? But then when I stop and I just acknowledge myself, I go, who was I like even a month ago? And how much have I accomplished since then? And who was I a year ago? And what have I overcome? When I can really acknowledge and love myself and go, you know what, Jeanell, you're freaking amazing. Then I can give myself that compassion and grace. And I don't think we do that enough for ourselves and each other. We're so hard on ourselves, aren't we?
We are. And is that something that maybe you would assist your clients with, finding what is going to drive them to be successful and learning to take the risks, similar to you, similar to our parents, similar to anyone that really wants something? Because as you mentioned, you need to want it bad enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And yes, it's something that I definitely work with my clients on. I think it's really about like looking at your expectations, right? And where did those expectations come from? Are they yours truly? Or did someone else tell you that that's what that was to be? Right? Like for me, I was always told, work hard. You can make all the money if you work hard. So here I am working 80-hour weeks, not making the money that I want to make and going, well, I'm working hard. Someone told me that that's what I need to do. I just need to work hard. And then I read this book. It was such a great book. I can't remember the name of it, but she said, consider that you don't actually have to work hard and you can still be successful. And I was like, what? I've never heard of this concept before. Anyway, fast forward, I go on this vacation. Okay. And I'm at this point, like, I'm so frustrated. I'm like wanting to throw the towel in. So frustrated. I go away and I start to listen to audiobooks and I start to really like shift my thinking and realizing I've been focusing on myself and my success. I've been making this whole thing all about me when the whole point of my business is to serve others. And so I shifted that energy within myself and go, Jeanell, stop worrying about the money. It will come. Just serve, just serve. And as soon as I came back, bam, 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 full schedule. Didn't do anything. It just happened. And that's when I realized, like, oh, the thing that they were talking about. Okay, so I just need to make sure I take care of myself. And I just need to make sure I'm clear about what I want and who I am and have a pure heart. And then things will just come to me naturally. Wow. And so, yeah, like that was a huge life lesson for me this year.
See, when you changed, your situation changed.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson to be learned, because as you made a great point that I want to double back to is when you said that, am I living life? Is this my expectations or is this expectations from somewhere else? We have parents that will say that I was a doctor and a lawyer, so you have to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer. I was married and I had 2 kids, so you have to be married and have 2 kids. But was good or deemed as successful for the generation before us may not be your story, because everyone should be able to write their own story. The templates can be our mother and our father and our parents, but the author ultimately will still have to be you, will still have to be me, will still have to be everyone else. And as I help people that I work with, one of the concerns that I always find with people is that their unhappiness in large part is due to other people's expectations.
Yes, yes, yes. And to take it another step further and deeper, the other thing that causes us pain and suffering is when we have expectation of others, right? And then they don't behave or react or respond the way that we think they should respond based on our own value set. We get upset with them.